Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
So again, we'll start with a quote. This is by Dashrath Patel, a very famous artist, designer, a ceramist, who practiced in India. His quote says that if you can dream it, you can make it happen. That's a great starting point for this particular chapter. So let's begin with the design process. Ideation is the third phase of the design thinking and innovation process. And if you recollect, research was the first phase, analysis was the second phase, ideation is the third phase, where you'll apply your creativity, you'll explore alternatives, you'll experiment with concepts, and you'll be innovative. Ideation helps you to think of alternative, creative concepts for you to, with respect to the design statement that you've come out with. Let's summarize. So again, putting it together, you can see that research makes you diverge, analysis makes you converge, and ideation phase, again you need to diverge, because you need to think of as many alternate ideas as possible, and then you'll take forward one or two of them and test it, and then reiterate it, and then finally implement it. So let's look at what is ideation, what is creative ideation, and what is creativity. So basically, ideation involves finding many alternate ideas to be identified with respect to the problem statement, and the ideas need to be new and unique. It's not the same in a new clothing, but it's actually a new one that you need to think of, and it has to be also unique. Okay, so it requires a lot of thinking and finding alternatives, and we have many methods for doing this. It's also one of the most exciting phases of the design process, as it involves generating interesting ideas, and you'd be surprised how creative each one of us is. Ideation involves making use of different tools, so we'll make use of brainstorming, which you already kind of know, idea sketching, and other creativity techniques. So let's look at the difference between ideation and creative ideation. Creative ideation involves finding several alternate creative concepts to the identified problem statement. Okay, the word creative is very, very important. Creative means it's unique, it's unusual, it could be innovative. Yeah, so something which is not done before or not normally thought of before. So creative ideation will involve creativity, and being creative involves thinking of unique and new ideas. So let's look at what is creativity itself. It's defined as the ability to create, the quality of being creative. Okay, so it means that you need to find unique, unusual solutions. Let's have a look at perspectives on creativity. Okay, the first method, we'll call it as brainstorming, and we already mentioned it's Osborne who actually thought of this term. It's using the brain to storm a creative problem. Okay. And some of the set rules are: don't criticize, generate as many ideas as possible, let the ideas be as unusual, even it doesn't make sense, it doesn't matter. For the sake of ideas, it's better to have unusual, unique solutions, and you can combine and improve these ideas in the long run. Okay, so these are the simple rules for creative brainstorming. So the next word is divergent thinking. That means that it's a thinking which is not the same. You kind of, you got paths to take, and you don't mind taking a path which is not explored, which is different. Maybe there's surprising things at the end of the road. Okay, so again, Joy Paul Guilford was the one who thought of divergent thinking. Divergent thinking is a non-linear mode of creative thinking that helps you to come out with several unique ideas in solving a problem. It's characterized by flexibility, originality, and fluency. Yeah, so these are the three characteristics of divergent thinking. Let's look at an interesting, combination of letters. You can call it a scamper. It's easy to remember, but each of these letters stand for something else. Okay, it's an acronym for 7 creativity techniques suggested by Bob Eberle. Okay, and he thought of it as a very interesting method because if you use this method, you actually end up with many alternate solutions. So the first letter S stands for substitute. That means that if you have an idea, try to substitute with another idea. C is for combining. Combine that idea with another idea. A is for adopt. Adopt with something else, and maybe you can change parts of it. M is for modify. So it means change something in the idea that you have. P is put to another use, find another use for what you're trying to do. E is eliminate things that probably are not so important. And R is total reverse, inverse or change the direction of it itself. Okay, so very simple. It's scamper, made out of 7 letters, each one standing for different ways of finding creative solutions. Let's go through it. Substitute, C for combine, A for adopt, M for modify, P for put to another use, E for elimination, and R for reversing. Lateral thinking, okay, again taught by Edward de Bono. He coined the word lateral thinking as a new way of creative thinking. He defined lateral thinking as against vertical thinking. We normally think of an idea and we try to make the idea better, faster, whatever it is, and you never think of going out somewhere and thinking that maybe the actual solution is not here, but you need to think out of the box, go somewhere else laterally and then find a solution. And he also truly believed that creativity can be learned, and we are all born creative. We kind of lose it when we go through systematic means of education, but you can actually regain it. And he very much popularized creative thinking with over 80 books, and which are translated in many languages. Okay, so Edward de Bono, his books are very easy and interesting to read. So please take one of his books and read through them. Yeah, so why is it so much important, okay, in the context of innovation? So it plays a very important role in the process of finding a solution to a problem by suggesting many possible ways to solve the problem. See, it's like this: if you have one solution, maybe it has solved the problem, but leave it aside and I say that no, I want to come out with another solution, maybe that's better than what it is, and probably another solution which is better than both of them. You go on and on like that, you'll actually end up with many solutions, and then you can do a prioritization and see which one of them is better, or maybe you can combine features of 2 or 3 of them and then come out with the most appropriate one, which can be taken up for further development. So important thing is, don't be satisfied with just one idea, try to create several ideas. So what does it involve? So we have 4 techniques that we'll look at it in this particular part. Okay, start with brainstorming, then whatever you come out with, you sketch it out through idea sketching, we call it. It's basically visualizing that particular idea. Then you use some creativity methods to find out several alternative ideas. Okay, so let's end with a quote from Albert Einstein. Creativity is intelligence having fun. Okay, so that's why I said ideation is a very enjoyable and exciting part of the design process.